Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Patricia Stewart of Patricia Stewart Originals. Now, I've showed you before, I love to do grid art journaling. It's very relaxing. I did this one a little earlier, and I used Illusion inks, a little acrylic paint, and my fine marker to do a little mark making. And so it's pretty simple and easy, and I do them quite often. And today I'm going to do one, and then we're going to try to turn it into something, because with any projects that I do, I'm always looking to turn it into something. What am I going to do with it? Is it just going to be piled up in a corner somewhere, or I'm going to give it some good use? And so I'm a stickler for that with any art that I do. And so I have mixed media paper here. I usually buy these by the book. For this particular one, I ripped out of Artist Loft, mixed media, 140 pound, and kind of cut it down to the size that I wanted. And I'm going to be using some Tim Holtz Distress inks. And let's see what we can do with it. I'll be using just one stencil for all of it. And let's see where we can go with it. Okay, I'm starting with some teal. And first I'm just going to rub some of it just directly on, and then take my brush and let's get some color and some texture going. And then I'm going to take this leaf stencil dab some in here. And let's get some darker pigment leaves. In the teal. The color that I originally spread was lighter in the background, and now we get a little darker color on top. Now I would like to add another color to this, even though these are inks. Just wipe a little off. I would like to also do a little red. See if I can overlap, moving the stencil some. Even maybe position. See if I can go in and add a little red. Yes. Add another this way. Okay. And so I have those two colors mixed together there. And for balance, I will do the same, but alternate. So here I have a little red. So I'm just going to use what's on the brush Take the stencil again. And go in putting red leaves, the same way we did the teal. So it's quite simple and easy to do grid art journaling. You can use paint, whatever medium you are in the mood to create with. I happen to like using the distress inks with it. Now I'm going to go in with the teal like we did here. Let's position the leaf a little differently. I'm just layering. Just fun to do. One in the opposite direction. Okay, and there we have that. And so we have two other boxes. I'm going to do those two other boxes. And I have some, I think this is like an orange. I'm going to go in here. I could do it the other way as well. Or you can just directly mix it using your brush. Okay. And we'll go in with the stencil again, the same stencil. This is like an orange, I guess. I guess some other color that I might have used this brush with is coming off on it as well. And now I want to see if it will mix well. There's another color here. Not too sure if it will come out on top. It's a Victorian velvet. Looks like a dusty rose. I'm not too sure. So let me get a clean brush, new brush. Yeah, it's a dusty rose. I'm not too sure how that will come out. If it's darker than a little darker than the orange. It does have a nice velvety look, slightly similar. Let's put a little piece up here in the corner. Because it's similar in color, I'm gonna do it a few times. So that you can see it. It's a nice, interesting effect. Okay, we have one more box. So I'm going to go in using the Dusty Rose. My paper is moving all over the place. Okay. Now let's go in with the Dusty Rose. This is quick and easy. Oops, it moved. Okay. It's pretty quick and easy to do. I like doing them when especially if I don't have a lot of time to do art that day and I want to do something small. I do some of these. So, okay. Let's come in with the orange. On top of the rose. The orange stands out a little. Okay, and so there we have all of our different leaves. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to use the same stencil, but I'm going to use some texture paste. This is texture paste. I got it, Simon Says. It's by Ranger. It's a white texture paste. And it gives like a 3D effect. And so using the stencil, I'm going to put a couple of these leaves Now this takes about 10 minutes to dry, and there's no need to pack it on, but just to cover the openings of the stencil. And there we have it. I don't know if you can see that. Turn it around this way. And that takes about 10 minutes to dry, but it adds a nice layer. And then do another one, smaller one. Let's see. And when you use this, you have to make sure that you clean it off well under water, or have a pail or container of water near you, because it will harden on the stencil and your stencil will be ruined. Okay, I put a smaller one there. So I'm going to put these on, let it dry, and come back. Okay, so we're dry, and I also decided to put some liquid pearls on it. You could see that. You could see the three-dimensional Let me turn it around this way. It's three-dimensional. You could see the raised leaves that were done with the paste, molding paste, and the liquid pearls. Okay, and so now I want to cut it down because I want to use these to insert sort of like a card, but like a gift. And so this took about 15 minutes to dry for it to harden, and I want to cut it so that I can put it inside. Okay, I'm going to have to do that again. This paper was kind of thick. Trying to be careful because it's also resting. Now the paste has hardened. So I just want to cut it down enough, but not too much because I'm going to fit it inside. Let me see. Yeah, it has to fit inside this card insert that I have, like that. And I would, you know, put a piece of adhesive to make sure that it fits in there well. And that's what it would look like. So I'm not going to cut this down anymore. I think I need to cut a little bit off the sides. Of this one. Let's see how this fits inside the card. I had purchased a bunch of these cards, I think a few years ago, where I put small pieces of art in them as gifts. And so that's something else that can be done with these cards. You can also frame them. Like I have a matting here. Let's cut another one. Look at that one framed. So you want to make sure that it is dry before you go in to do your cutting. Let's see, I may not have to cut this one. So let's say you wanted to frame this one. Here's a simple, these are 5 by 7s, forgot to mention that. So here's that one that's framed, just in a matting, and you can put it in a picture frame if you like. And here's the other one here. And so these can make nice gifts, frameable art, and you would just need, let me get one of my tabs. You could use a piece of tape, but I'm going to use one of these to put. First, we want to secure it with a piece of double-sided tape. Regular Scotch brand, a piece of double-sided tape on the back, the top, and the bottom, and position it That's it already stuck. Sometimes it takes a little bit to position it. But you get the idea. Okay. I see what the problem is. So I need to just cut off a little bit more. That's okay. I think my top was a little too the double-sided tape begins to stick the moment any pressure gets on it. Okay, and then I would take one of these little dot tabs and that will hold it close. And the same you would do with your matting. You would just put, you know, one at each corner. And what I like about these tabs, and you peel off the top, and you put it in your frame. So here we have, and we have this one here. We also have the other one that I didn't take down as yet. And so it's simple, a simple little grid project, and you don't have to be into grid art journaling, but if you do the grids, then you can cut them out. These are 5x7s, so if you do 4 squares as your grid, you could cut them down into cards or small art pieces that can be framed. And this way you do something with your art. But try your hand at grid journaling and doing the grid art. They make very nice cards. Thanks for joining me today. Keep doing art. Till next time.